Just days after conquering an incredibly challenging 113-mile cycling event, pushing my body to its limits across mountains, I found myself in an unexpected and painful situation, a fall that fractured my face. It was a stark reminder of life's fragility and, frankly, a moment where I genuinely felt I shouldn't have survived. While receiving help from strangers and navigating recovery, my mind kept returning to my dear friend Rob. He was incredibly fit, active, and seemingly healthy. Yet, he passed away suddenly from heart disease at just 58. His story, tragically, became the catalyst for me to discover a 77% blockage in my own heart artery, a silent threat I never suspected. The common assumption is that if you're active and feel well, your arteries must be clear. But Rob's life and my own experience challenged that deeply. What if your arteries are quietly accumulating a hazard even if you're outwardly performing at a high level? What if the standard approach to managing this hidden threat is only addressing half the problem? It turns out there's a critical piece of the puzzle that often gets overlooked, and it's the difference between merely slowing progression and actually working towards a healthier arterial system. I call it the arterial plaque equation, and it explains why I'm here today continuing to ride and share this insight, while Rob is not. Understanding this equation could fundamentally change how you think about your heart health. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment through understanding. We're going to explore how plaque develops in your arteries, why traditional methods often fall short, and crucially, what you can do to support your body's natural capacity for arterial remodeling. It comes down to two powerful interconnected forces, represented by a simple equation, R equals TD. Here, R stands for the potential for arterial remodeling, or the body's capacity to reduce arterial plaque over time. It represents the comprehensive improvement in your arterial health. T is for tap-off, which refers to actively reducing the inflow of factors that contribute to plaque formation. Imagine a clogged sink with the tap running. To clear the clog, your first step is to turn down, or ideally, turn off that tap. In our arteries, the primary tap adding to plaque buildup is often associated with the presence of certain lipoproteins, particularly LDL cholesterol, especially when it becomes oxidized. Keeping this tap significantly reduced is the crucial first step. Then there's D, which represents drain on. This is about enhancing your body's natural mechanisms to actively remove existing plaque components. If the sink is clogged, merely turning off the tap isn't enough. You also need to unclog the drain to allow the water to flow out and the sink to empty. In arterial health, this translates to optimizing your body's reverse cholesterol transport pathways. These are complex biological processes involving your high-density lipoprotein, HDL, that literally shuttle cholesterol away from arterial walls back to the liver for excretion. Both the tap-off and drain-on must be robustly addressed for meaningful arterial remodeling to occur. To explain the tap-off more deeply, the goal is to consistently maintain very low levels of circulating LDL cholesterol, particularly below 70 milligrams per deciliter or 1 DAO's 8 mol L/LAC. Many studies suggest that below this threshold, the arterial wall environment begins to shift from one where plaque accumulates to one where existing plaque may begin to stabilize or even diminish. When LDL is below 55 mg/dl1, 4 mL/L, this environment becomes even more conducive to plaque regression. This means you are minimizing the raw material available for new plaque formation and significantly reducing oxidative stress that initiates plaque development. Think of it as truly turning the faucet to a trickle or even off at the source. Now, for the drain-on mechanism, which is often the missing piece, this involves a sophisticated multi-step biological process called reverse cholesterol transport. In essence, it's your body's cleanup crew for arterial plaque. Specialized proteins and pathways work to extract excess cholesterol from within the arterial wall and load it onto HDL particles. These HDL particles then transport the cholesterol back to the liver, where it can be processed and removed from the body. It's not just about having a high number of HDL particles. What's clinically important is the functionality of your HDL, often measured as cholesterol efflux capacity. This refers to how effectively your HDL can collect that cholesterol from the arterial wall and transport it. A high HDL number is less meaningful if its efflux capacity, its ability to actually do the work, is compromised. Plaque reduction only genuinely progresses when both the tap-off is highly effective and the drain-on is actively clearing. One without the other will, at best, slow plaque growth, but rarely lead to significant sustained improvement. Consider plaque like a persistent clog in a pipe. Standard approaches, often through medication like statins, primarily focus on closing the tap by significantly lowering LDL cholesterol. Statins achieve this by inhibiting cholesterol production in the liver. While this is crucial for preventing new buildup, they generally don't directly enhance the drain-on mechanism. They don't actively help remove the existing clog. This is why, even in aggressive statin trials, we often see stabilization or only very mild plaque regression over years. The flow of new material into the pipe stops, but the existing blockage largely remains. Here's what often gets overlooked: the body's incredible capacity to not just stop, but potentially reduce existing arterial plaque is severely limited if you only address one side of this equation. Pause for viewer interaction. Micro. This is where it becomes clinically important for you. I'd love to hear your experience. Take a moment and pause this video. In the comments below, please share your most recent LDL cholesterol number if you know it, and tell me which part of this equation, the tap-off lowering LDL or the drain-on optimizing HDL function, you've been focusing on, or perhaps realizing you need to address more. Your insights help shape future discussions here. My own journey vividly illustrates the power of this combined approach. A little over a year ago, my calcium score, a measure of calcified plaque in coronary arteries, was 505, the concerning number. I also had that significant 77% obstruction in a major coronary artery branch, and my LDL cholesterol was a high 168 mg/dl for Lenfru, 3 mmol/L. Within just 90 days, applying both principles, my carotid artery plaque, which I monitored via ultrasound, showed substantial reduction. My LDL plummeted to 61 mg/dl, and my ApoB, a key marker for cardiovascular risk, dropped dramatically to 45. The thickness of my carotid artery walls, a direct indicator of arterial health, decreased by an extraordinary 53%. While individual results vary, and my case is certainly a unique one that hasn't yet been formally published, I believe this rapid progress was a direct result of simultaneously focusing on turning off the tap through diligent dietary changes and vigorously opening the drain through a combination of lifestyle interventions. Many conventional cardiology approaches, while essential for managing immediate risk, primarily target LDL reduction using medications like statins or PCSK9 inhibitors. These can drive LDL cholesterol down to remarkably low levels, even below 40 mg/dl. However, studies on these interventions, even with such low LDL, still report only modest plaque regression, often less than 1% over several years. This reinforces the idea that if the drain remains plugged, simply starving the system of new material isn't enough to actively clear existing plaque. My friend Rob, for instance, was on a statin since age 34, maintaining an LDL of 80-90 mg/dl, had normal blood pressure, and was very fit. Yet, he still suffered a fatal heart attack at 58, highlighting that focusing solely on LDL, while vital, might not be a complete strategy for everyone. And this next piece explains why that single-minded focus might be incomplete for many individuals. A comprehensive meta-analysis by Fujisaki in 2025, reviewing 48 trials and over 4,000 patients using intravascular ultrasound to assess coronary plaque, identified crucial LDL thresholds. They observed that, on average, plaque grows when LDL is above 100 mg/dL. Below 100 mg/dL, plaque progression generally arrests, and some very mild regression may begin. As LDL dips below 70 mg/dL, about a 1% average decrease in atheroma, or plaque volume, was noted. Below 55 mg/dL, this increased slightly to about 1–5%. These are important markers showing that LDL reduction is foundational for stopping progression and initiating minimal regression, but it alone may not achieve dramatic changes. To effectively turn off the tap, Several powerful dietary approaches have proven efficacy in significantly lowering LDL. Think of the stringent whole food plant-based diets like Dr. Esselstyn's or Dr. Ornish's lifestyle programs. These emphasize nutrient-dense, fiber-rich foods while minimizing saturated fat and cholesterol. For instance, Dr. Joe Crow, a patient of Dr. Esselstyn and a colleague at the Cleveland Clinic, chose diet and exercise over statins after a heart attack at 44. By consistently lowering his LDL to an incredible 38 mg/dL, he achieved complete regression of a nearly 100% obstructed coronary artery over 32 months. This demonstrates the profound impact of truly turning off the tap through lifestyle. But as I mentioned, the drain on is equally critical. A landmark study by Rio in 2014, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, followed nearly 3,000 adults for 10 years. They found that individuals in the highest quartile of cholesterol efflux capacity, meaning their HDL was most functional at clearing cholesterol, experienced 67% fewer heart attacks and strokes compared to those in the lowest quartile. This was profoundly significant and, crucially, independent of their LDL levels or even their total HDL numbers. It powerfully underscores that the ability of HDL to do its job matters more than just its quantity. Statins and PCSK9 inhibitors, while excellent at lowering LDL, have not been shown to significantly improve this critical cholesterol efflux capacity. They primarily operate on only one side of the equation. This is the part many people overlook: how to actually enhance the drain-on side of the equation. So, how do we actively open that drain? Exercise plays a vital role. High-intensity exercise, for example, can increase ABCA1 efflux by 13.5% in just 12 weeks. ABCA1 is a key transporter protein. Think of it as a microscopic gate that facilitates the movement of cholesterol out of arterial wall cells onto HDL particles. So, regular, challenging physical activity directly enhances this critical clearance mechanism. Another fascinating agent is pomegranate. Research suggests that pomegranate consumption can significantly raise peroxonase 1 PONAGDMD by 83%. PON1 is an enzyme that rides on HDL and protects both HDL and LDL from oxidation, thereby preserving HDL's functionality and preventing LDL from becoming more atherogenic or plaque-forming. It can also reduce LDL oxidation by an impressive 90%, thereby cutting down on the very process that initiates much of the plaque. So, pomegranate not only keeps your drain functioning efficiently, but also helps prevent new clogging. And then there's fasting. Intermittent or extended fasting protocols can induce autophagy, a powerful cellular self-cleaning process. During autophagy, your body recycles old damaged cells and cellular components, including the foam cells that are characteristic of early plaque and arterial walls. This cleansing process is a fundamental aspect of maintaining healthy cellular function and directly contributes to clearing out unwanted cellular debris from your arteries. These drain opening strategies represent dimensions that conventional prescription pads often don't address. My personal approach, available in detail on my website, ham.com, is fully documented with medical literature citations and free for everyone. It integrates both sides of the equation. For the tap-off, I adhere to a strict whole food, plant-based, low-fat diet, much like the Esselstyn protocol, keeping fat intake very low, below 25 grams per day, and avoiding oils, avocados, and most nuts, except for small amounts like 2 walnuts daily based on specific studies. This dietary discipline was instrumental in dropping my LDL from 168 to 61 mg/dL. To powerfully activate the drain on, I incorporate high-intensity exercise, aiming for 80 and 90% of my maximum heart rate, similar to the demands of events like the Levi Grand Fondo. This isn't just about fitness, it's about robustly enhancing HDL functionality. I also layer in various fasting protocols: daily intermittent fasting, 16 hours, weekly 1-day fasts, and monthly 2 to 3 day extended fasts to promote autophagy. In fact, my recent 2-day fast after the accident served a dual purpose, supporting wound healing and coinciding with my monthly autophagy goal. Daily consumption of 50 milliliters of pomegranate juice is also part of my regimen, targeting PON1 activity and reducing LDL oxidation. And finally, nattokinase, a supplement, at doses of 6,000 to 10,800 fibrinogen units daily. A 2017 study by Ren and colleagues showed nattokinase may contribute to a 36% plaque reduction over just 26 weeks, a significant finding in supporting arterial health. What this channel aims to do is illuminate these interconnected strategies that address both turning off the tap and opening the drain. My own results and the growing body of evidence suggest that this comprehensive approach holds immense potential for supporting arterial health and may contribute to plaque regression. I'm keen to see more people embrace these insights and achieve similar or even better outcomes. This connects directly to a broader truth about health. Everything is interconnected. To truly support your arterial health, we must consider the intricate interplay of several physiological systems. Hormonal balance, for instance, plays a significant role in metabolic health and inflammation, both of which impact arterial walls. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which can influence blood pressure and contribute to endothelial dysfunction, impairing arterial function. High-quality sleep is non-negotiable. Poor sleep patterns disrupt hormonal regulation and promote inflammation. Optimal circulation ensures nutrient delivery and waste removal, while systemic inflammation is a known driver of plaque progression. Finally, robust nutrient absorption from a diverse diet provides the essential building blocks and protective compounds for arterial integrity. My protocol implicitly supports these areas, for instance by reducing systemic inflammation through diet and promoting cellular repair through fasting. Addressing arterial plaque isn't just about cholesterol numbers, it's about nurturing an entire ecosystem of health within your body. It's important to calibrate expectations realistically. Significant internal changes in arterial health often occur before they become outwardly visible or even dramatically alter standard lab results. Sustained consistency rather than intermittent intensity is key. And remember, every individual's biology is unique. Responses to these interventions can vary based on genetics, baseline health, and other lifestyle factors. The goal is long-term health and resilience, not an overnight transformation. If these insights resonate with you and you're looking to explore a more comprehensive approach to your health, please consider subscribing to this channel. I also invite you to share your age in the comments below, along with any specific health questions or concerns you have. Your engagement helps me understand what topics matter most to you, shaping future videos where we can explore these complexities together. Click one of these videos to continue your learning journey, and please share it with someone you care about. Together, we can empower more individuals with knowledge for better health. For my up-to-date learnings and more detailed protocols, visit ham.com. This content is educational only and not medical advice. For persistent concerns, consult a qualified professional.